September 22nd, 2021. A dumpster fire in West Fort Worth sends orange flames into the night sky. Firefighters expect to find trash.
The fire department personnel located dismembered body parts inside of the dumpster.
This was shocking. It's unsettling. It's not something anyone should ever have to see.
Who were these people? How did they end up burned beyond recognition in storage bins? Who wanted them destroyed so badly? Over the next few days, investigators would uncover a tale of sacrifice, cannibalism, and a serial killer hiding in plain sight. This is Texas Murder Mystery, created and produced by NDF.
On September 21st, 2021, Fort Worth Fire was dispatched to 3100 block of Bonnie Drive at 6:17 a.m. in reference to a dumpster fire. Once the fire was extinguished, the fire department personnel located dismembered body parts inside of the dumpster.
Detectives arrive at the dumpster behind a local business off Bonnie Drive. Inside, they find 3 torsos, separated hands and feet, and a severed head. Everything is charred and unidentifiable. The killer, or killers, have erased fingerprints and dental clues. All investigators have is a surveillance video showing a Jeep Cherokee pulling up to the dumpster around 3 a.m.
Homicide unit detectives and digital forensic unit detectives responded to the scene in an attempt to retrieve video surveillance evidence. Video surveillance evidence helped us to identify a possible suspect vehicle. We believe that vehicle to be a 2005-2010 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Detectives know the clock is ticking. If the killer could burn bodies and disappear once, they might strike again. Forensic teams painstakingly extract DNA from charred bones and match it to a missing persons database. After days of uncertainty, the victims are identified. David Lueras, 42, a Fort Worth man and a history of petty crime. Maricruz Mathis, 33, a mother of 6, and Lauren Phillips, 34, who would end up being a friend of the killer who hoped to turn her life around. None of them were reported together. How had their paths crossed? Who had lured them to their deaths? The only tangible clue is the Jeep Cherokee captured on surveillance cameras. Police canvassed the area and tracked down the vehicle to a friend of a 41-year-old electrician's apprentice, Jason Alan Thornburg.
Detectives were able to locate Mr. Thornburg's Grand Cherokee based on information that we were able to obtain. We also were able to locate where Mr. Thornburg was sleeping at night, which was a motel, the Mid-Cities Inn in Euless, Texas. Detectives went to that location and were able to obtain video surveillance evidence.
Police say the night the bodies were put in the dumpster, surveillance video from this motel captured Thornburg walking from his room to his Jeep, carrying Rubbermaid containers and wearing a full-body suit used in drywall or hazmat cleaning.
Yesterday afternoon, approximately 5:30 p.m., we observed Jason Thornburg exiting a residence in Arlington where we were surveilling his vehicle. 3 of my detectives approached Mr. Thornburg and asked him to speak with them. He agreed to come with us voluntarily to our office to speak with us.
When detectives speak with him, they expect a brief conversation. What he tells them changes everything.
Once back at our office, Mr. Thornburg participated in a consensual interview with my detectives, during which time Mr. Thornburg admitted his involvement in the death of the 3 individuals that were recovered in the dumpster on Bonnie Drive.
Detectives ask Thornburg why his friend's Jeep was seen at the crime scene. He doesn't deny it. Instead, He calmly confesses that he killed 3 people in a motel room and burned their bodies to release their souls. He says he has in-depth knowledge of the Bible and believes God requires human sacrifice.
Mr. Thornburg went into intimate details as to how he committed his crime, which, as all of y'all know, I can't provide those details because this is an ongoing investigation.
The investigators can't believe what they're hearing. Thornburg takes them back to room 110 of the Mid-City Inn in Euless.
The man told police that he believed that the victims were sacrifices. Our Jason Allen live in Euless this afternoon, where police are still going over the crime scene at this hour. Jason?
Yeah, Doug, and investigators believe that all 3 of those murders, a man and 2 women, happened in this hotel room right back here, and the remains were kept there as well until the suspect dumped them and set them on fire.
There, crime scene technicians discover pools of blood under the bed, cut marks in the bathtub, and surgical equipment. Thornburg describes how over 4 days, he slit the throats of David Lueras and Maricruz Mathis, strangled Lauren Phillips with an electrical cord, and dismembered their bodies. He admits to eating part of Lueras' heart. Detectives realize they have stumbled onto a serial killer who believes he is doing God's work. The twists keep coming. When detectives ask if there were other victims, Thornburg says yes. He confesses to killing his 61-year-old roommate, Mark Jewell, back in May 2021. At the time, Jewell's death was ruled a house fire accident.
Once the details were learned in reference to this most recent offense, we went back to the May offense on Valentine, and we were able to get Mr. Thornburg to admit to that being a homicide as well. He provided information that only someone who was involved in the offense would be able to provide to us.
Thornburg now admits he slit Jewell's throat, uncapped a gas line, and lit a candle, blowing up the house.
When he was arrested for the motel murders, he reportedly confessed to police that he also killed his roommate back in 2021.
Then Thornburg drops another bombshell. He killed his girlfriend, Tanya Begay, in 2017.
This just in, police arrested the man accused of killing 3 people found burning in a dumpster last week. According to Fort Worth police, Jason Thornburg also admits to killing another woman in another state.
A man arrested in connection with the deaths of 3 people whose dismembered bodies were found in a burning dumpster in North Texas last week has ties here to Pima County.
According to his arrest warrant affidavit, Thornburg said he had an in-depth knowledge of the Bible and believed he was being called to commit sacrifices. He also reportedly admitted to killing a girlfriend in Arizona.
Big story tonight, a suspected serial killer accused of horrifying crimes in Texas says one of his victims includes his former girlfriend, who was last seen here in Arizona.
Begay, a Navajo woman and mother of 2, vanished after leaving her aunt's house in Tehachapi, New Mexico with Thornburg. She had previously filed domestic violence charges against him, alleging he assaulted her with a coffee pot and choked her.
On February 18th, less than a month before she was reported missing, Gallup police found Tanya bleeding from the face after an argument with Thornburg. She told officers he threw an empty glass coffee pot at her face, which shattered, and she was taken to the hospital. However, court records show Gallup police arrested Thornburg for the assault on March 22nd, 3 days after her mother reported her missing.
He was brought in for an interview here with the Gallup Police Department, working with the FBI, at which time he did retain an attorney.
Her case went cold. Thornburg now says he killed her as a sacrifice, but her body has never been found.
We're learning more, as you just mentioned, about a 5th victim, his former girlfriend. In 2017, law enforcement in Arizona and in New Mexico posted information about Tanya Begay, the mother of 2, disappeared while she was driving to see family. And the information about her says that she was with her boyfriend at the time, Jason Thornburg.
What began as a simple arson investigation is now a multi-state serial murder case. Police wonder whether there are more victims. Thornburg says he has a list. Suddenly, the community realizes a killer has been hiding among them for years.
Mr. Thornburg appeared normal on the surface of things, and that makes a tragic event like this so shocking.
I can't believe it. I just can't believe he had everybody fooled.
Both neighbors and police are shaken.
This was shocking. It's unsettling.
Fort Worth first responders found a dumpster on fire last Tuesday with 3 dismembered bodies inside. Monday night, police arrested Jason Thornburg and say he confessed to the killings.
Yeah, we never suspected anything.
Kanti Gandhi is the manager at Mid-City Inn in Euless, where police say the killings happened.
I have talked to him many, many times, and he never fought with me about anything.
Thornburg is arrested on September 25, 2021. Within weeks, a Tarrant County grand jury indicts him on 3 counts of capital murder. In February 2022, another grand jury indicts him for murder and arson in Mark Jewell's death. Police in New Mexico reopen the case of Tanya Begay. Psychiatrists evaluate him. He is found competent to stand trial. Prosecutors announced they will seek the death penalty. Meanwhile, families of the victims grapple with the reality of his confessions.
Lauren was a Christian. She'd been baptized 5 times. She read her Bible religiously. And I think she thought that was a way to go, that he was a nice man. Everyone in the area said he was normal, just like anyone else. They had no reason to be suspicious.
In November 2024, Thornburg stands trial for the murders of David Lueras, Maricruz Mathis, and Lauren Phillips.
Today, a suspected serial killer's trial is going to begin in Tarrant County, and prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. Jason Thornburg is accused of killing and dismembering a man and 2 women in 2021.
We'll also be watching another high-profile trial getting underway in Tarrant County. Jason Thornburg faces the death penalty after police say he murdered 3 people and burned their bodies inside of a dumpster 3 years ago. Jason Thornburg's attorneys, they declined to give any opening statements, but the prosecution did. And in that opening statement, the prosecutors, they went to the jury and really described the 3 victims that Jason Thornburg is accused of killing, describing who they were and then also how they came to meet Thornburg and trust him.
David Lueras was a 42-year-old father, described by friends as charismatic despite his troubles. He moved in the same circles as Jason Thornburg and sometimes stayed with him at the Mid-City Inn. A witness later told police they saw Lueras living in Thornburg's motel room for several days. On September 17, 2021, he accepted his friend's invitation to hang out, unaware it would be the last night of his life. Maricruz Mathis was a 33-year-old mother of 6 who loved church and holidays. She sought stability after a turbulent period and had checked in to the Mid-City Inn shortly before she died. Her parents said she never mentioned Thornburg. They believe she didn't know him and simply ended up at the wrong place at the wrong time. When Thornburg offered her shelter, Mathis saw it as kindness. Lauren Phillips was a 34-year-old mother of 2 teenage boys. When she was clean, she worked in home health care and was known for her gentle heart. Struggling with mental health issues and addiction, she needed a place to stay. A friend brought her to Thornburg's motel room. Neighbors later recalled seeing her meet him while he passed out church flyers and read the Bible in front of his door. Mark Jewell, a 61-year-old maintenance worker, opened his Ponder, Texas home to Jason Thornburg in early 2021. Friends say Jewell's generosity stemmed from his Christian faith. He attended church regularly and let Thornburg stay with him despite concerns. On May 21, 2021, Jewell was murdered by Thornburg. Tanya Begay, a 36-year-old Navajo mother of 2, was last seen on March 3, 2017, leaving her aunt's home in Tohatchi, New Mexico, with her boyfriend Jason Thornburg. Begay's loved ones continue to search for her, haunted by the thought that trust in her partner led to her disappearance and murder. Prosecutors call him a serial killer, cannibal, and sadist. They detail how he mutilated bodies and stored them under his motel bed. Thornburg stares blankly as forensic experts describe his crimes. The defense argues he suffers from a severe mental illness.
This man has been in front of you since August, and this is now almost the birth of Christ, the Lord Jesus, in December. Has he been respectful? Has he been quiet? Yes. You know why? Because he's on medication.
But the prosecution counters that he planned the murders and deliberately covered them up.
And so then they put on all this talk of executive functions. As the executive functioning doesn't work, that comes with impulsivity, don't understand cause and effect. Where is the impulsivity when he sneaks up behind Jason Smith? Where is the impulsivity when he slices Billy Joe's throat while he is asleep? Where is the impulsivity when he kills Mark Jewell in his sleep?
Unexpectedly, testimony reveals that Thornburg sexually abused his victims' corpses. Jurors and families gasp. Several jurors later say they had to fight back nausea during the graphic testimony.
You had every right to say that anybody who would do this to 3 members of our community and show such a depraved indifference for human life will always be a danger to our community.
Happening right now in Fort Worth, a jury will soon decide whether to send a man to death row for killing and dismembering 3 people in 2021. Jurors convicted Jason Thornburg of capital murder 2 weeks ago. NBC5's Alana Quillen is live at the Criminal Justice Center in downtown Fort Worth with the very latest. Alana?
Well, the jury just finished listening to more testimony this morning behind those courtroom doors. Closing arguments began in the last hour, and now we wait for a decision to be made. Here's some video, a look from inside that courtroom this morning. We saw the 44-year-old Thornburg smiling as he sat down with his attorney.
After just 90 minutes of deliberation, the jury finds Thornburg guilty. In the sentencing phase, families of the victims confront him directly, telling him of the pain he caused.
The life of my brother was precious, and it was snuffed out by Jason Thornburg in 2021. The last 4 weeks of this trial have been torture. What happened to our loved ones has had the potential to confuse and destroy us.
This is toughest, and at times it turns into an unbearable pain. It still hurts. Still hurts, sir.
And coming to this trial for the last few weeks, almost a month, just reopen all those wounds.
The Lord is a great start in life with a strong foundation, hardworking parents with long careers. Stellar grandparents with Christian values that set the character for our homes. But here we are, trying to understand the addictions that set her on a path that crossed the demon lot called Jason Thornburg. God takes great care in giving us life and free will to be good people. Jason Thornburg, you have committed the ultimate blasphemy against God. And for me, you took my little sister from us. You took her from Zoe to Zoe, and Zoe. And you show no remorse for what you did. You won't even tell us where she's at.
On December 4th, 2024, the jury sentences Thornburg to death.
We have some breaking news to get to right now. A decision in the Jason Thornburg case has been made, and this is about whether he will get the death penalty or not for killing 3 people in Euless.
Let's go ahead and listen in.
Jason Alan Thornburg, you have been adjudged by a jury to be guilty of capital murder, and the juror has answered the special issues, making it mandatory that your punishment be death. Therefore, this court sentences you, Jason Alan Thornburg, to death.
Jason Alan Thornburg now sits on death row. Families of David Lueras, Maricruz Mathis, Lauren Phillips, and Mark Jewell find some measure of justice.
Our constant source of our strength all this time has been from our Heavenly Father.
And it will continue to be their source of strength for years to come.
Tanya Begay, Mark Jewell, Lauren Phillips, Mary Cruz Mathis, and David Loweris. Our prodigals have been home with Jesus, and we have all received justice on their behalf. Thank you.
Yet, questions linger. Where is Tanya Begay's body? Were there more names on Thornburg's list? How could a man commit such atrocities while moving quietly through everyday life? Police urge anyone with information about Tanya Begay or other possible victims to come forward. As investigators continue to dig for answers, the community grapples with the unsettling truth that evil can hide behind a friendly smile and a Bible. Thank you for watching Texas Murder Mystery, created and produced by NDF.